Hello everyone, I'm here for another unboxing video, and today I'm going to do the Antique Anatomy Tarot. I've got that right here for us. This was a gift from a dear friend of mine, and I've been really excited about this deck for a while now. I had it on a wish list for myself on Amazon, and I've just been really excited about this for a while now. I have been a little nervous about doing this unboxing and just about opening this deck in general because recently I noticed on some of the reviews, when I poked my head into some of the reviews, I noticed that a lot of people are mentioning the cardstock being very, very thin and being very disappointed in the deck. But there seems to be mixed reviews, so I'm interested to see how this goes because it seems to be everything from 1 star to 5 stars, so we'll have to dive in together and see how it goes. And so I'll start off with taking a look at the box. It's a very large box that it comes in. The deck is by Claire Goodchild. It says it's a deck and guidebook for the modern reader. Oddities and curiosities await you in the Antique Anatomy Tarot. It comes with an 80-page guidebook with full color photography and 78 illustrated tarot cards. So full color guidebook, which is cool. It's priced on here at $29.99. I think on Amazon it's $26.99, I believe. I'm just going to go ahead and open this up. Okay, just get rid of that plastic. Okay, it's a lovely box. From what I heard, the packaging is great. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Let me see if I can get this in frame here. It says it's all in your hands inside the box here. It's a lovely box. It's a little bit on the large side, and the guidebook is quite large as well. It's the size of the box, and it's larger than my hand. But this is the guidebook here. Let's see what we have. So here's the table of contents. It's full color, as I mentioned. It's got some stuff on the history of tarot, major and minor arcana. It talks about it being a pip deck. And now I'm usually not a fan of most pip decks, but this one is probably one of the only ones that I was thinking I would make an exception for, or at least this far in my journey. I have a few pip decks, I just don't reach for them very often, but I just kind of fell in love with the artwork on this deck. So let's see, numerology and the tarot, she mentioned some stuff about that. But we've got elements in the tarot, color, astrology. This really goes in depth and has a lot of good information in here. Trying to keep this in frame for you guys. Ways of using the tarot, caring for your deck. And then there's spreads in here. This is really useful for a beginner, but I wouldn't recommend a pip deck for a beginner. And then we've got the major arcana. So, and then we can just kind of flip through here. We've got all the cards, yeah. And then back here we've got credit to the artist. So this is an 80-page guidebook. And then here are the cards. Really interested to see how this cardstock is that everybody's been talking about. The box is lovely, but I don't know that I'll be keeping my cards in this just because it's so large. But I do like to keep my cards with the guidebook that they come with. And the guidebook is so large I might have to. So we'll have to see what I come up with. But let's check out these cards. Okay, so I just changed camera angles so you guys can see better, and I want to check out how this cardstock actually is. Yeah, it's pretty flimsy. I don't know, I had read one review that mentioned it being like paper, but or thinner than the guidebook cover even, which, to be honest, it does seem like it's thinner than the guidebook cover. It's pretty flimsy. I think that they still might be usable. I mean, I think you can tell there's already a crease in my card here and I haven't even used them. Not sure if there's going to be an easy way to reinforce these. I might have to check out and see if there's any videos on that or any resources online, or just see if I can come up with something on my own to maybe reinforce these cards, but they're pretty flimsy. This is probably the thinnest that I've ever seen of my decks. I don't have the largest collection, but yeah, they're pretty flimsy. They're pretty thin. But this is the Fool. We're going to start our flip through now. And they seem to be standard size cards. I think I just showed the back, but here we are, the back. And then we've got the Magician. High Priestess. The Empress. The Emperor. The Hierophant. The Lovers. And I do have some different lighting going on than I normally do. Normally I just have natural lighting, but the sun has set just a little bit more than normal, and I had to turn on one of my overhead lights up here. So it's a white light up top here, so just a little bit different than my normal videos, if that means anything to anybody, that there's unnatural light. Strength, and we're moving on to Hermit. The Hermit here. And the Wheel of Fortune. It's a real shame about the quality of the cardstock, because they're beautiful images and beautiful artwork, but yeah, the cardstock is just quite disappointing. I mean, I still think I can use this deck, and I don't know that it's going to be my like go-to standard deck anyway, the Hangman, just because of the style of it. I think that it would be good for when I want to do certain things that require photography, or like, you know, like an Instagram post, or I don't know. It's very aesthetically pleasing, but I don't know that it's going to be my go-to deck that I'll grab all the time anyway. The Devil. So I don't know that it's going to get a ton of wear and tear. The Tower. Which, at least until I figure out if I can get it reinforced. That's the Star. The Moon. And the Sun. Try to do these fairly quickly for you guys, so I don't have a video that's too long. All right, we're moving on to elixirs. I believe that's going to be the equivalent for cups. I'm not sure what all suits. Here we are. It's in the guidebook here. We've got elixirs, rods, coins, and blades. So we've got love potion, which was pretty cool. It's the 2. Just gonna quickly go through these. But this will definitely be great for photographing. It's not a high gloss at all, so it will photograph well, and the images are stunning. So I think this will be great for anything. If anybody wants very aesthetic tarot posts, which, you know, may not be the most important thing to a lot of people, but realistically that's something that a lot of people care about. All about being realistic. And this is the page for elixirs. The Knight. It's interesting, the fertility tonic. And then we've got the beauty potion for the Queen. Calming tonic for the King. And we're on to rods. Still really excited to have this deck in my collection. Really appreciative of the friend who bought this for me for my birthday. 8 of rods. And then 9. I think that it brings something different to the table, which is kind of how I purchase my decks. If anybody watches my videos regularly, you'll see that it's something that I regularly, or that I've repeated probably here on my channel, is that I like a deck to bring something different to my collection. You know, I like a different perspective for different decks. You gotta keep it interesting. And we're on to coins. This is the Ace of Coins, or moving on to those. Coins would be pentacles normally in a Rider-Waite typical deck. The 8. This is the Page. Knight. king. And then we are on to blades, or what would be swords in a Rider-Waite deck. Just beautiful cards. So I don't know for sure the background with this deck, but what I believe is the story is that this was an indie deck that just recently got mass marketed, and that was why I had it. I had noticed the pre-order, and that was the one that I had on my wish list. Was the pre-order on Amazon for the mass market edition. I had not been able to get my hands on the one that was the indie deck before that one was sold out. So I don't know if that one had better quality card stock, and if it's just this new mass market edition, and maybe they'll fix this problem or not in the future. But it seems like a lot of people are pretty disappointed in the quality of the card stock. But the art is awesome. The packaging is great. If they would have put as much thought into the card stock as they did to the rest of the packaging, I think it would have come out great. Because I mean, the box is just so thick, and so is the insert even that holds the cards down. I mean, they could have possibly put a little less effort into the box itself and had the deck a little bit nicer, but that's just my opinion, I suppose. And that's all the cards. So overall, my opinion on this deck, I think it's beautiful, and I think if you're interested in buying this deck, I might wait to see if they're going to do another edition with better quality cardstock, or if they might fix this issue, because so many people are disappointed. But that's just me, unless cardstock is not an issue at all for you. But this is the thinnest cardstock I've seen personally, so I might wait to see if that is something that they might adjust. Also, for beginners, I probably wouldn't recommend, just because of it being a pip deck, unless you have extra cash laying around and you wanted to just have it as a deck to have alongside another one to learn with. But overall, I think it's beautiful. I'm happy to have it in my collection, but a little disappointed in the cardstock, or I guess a little bit more than a little. I think they could have put a lot more thought into the cardstock itself. Alright, so that is all for today's video. As I've said in the last two videos, I have a little shop that I have started recently called the Lunadoro, and I sell a lot of my handmade goods on there. I've got some crystals, I've got some pendulums and jewelry, painted rocks, paintings, all kinds of good stuff. If you guys feel so inclined to check it out, that would be amazing. I'm going to link it down below. I'm also going to link my normal regular links with where to find this deck, my previous videos, all that good stuff. If you haven't subscribed and you want to, I would love that. But I appreciate everybody who watches this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.